For today, playing Cyberpunk 2077 and with the ROG Ally. I'm playing the game at 1080p and with the Steam Deck preset. Now, normally with the Steam Deck preset, we have FSR enabled by default. I've disabled it here for now, and also I've actually installed the FSR 3 mod as well, so I'll be using that as we go through. Cool, here we go with that. Again, the Steam Deck preset, and just in case, again, the Steam Deck preset. It's gonna go down here, and then disable FSR 3. It's the same settings. There we go. So it seems to be a mix of medium and high with some low in there as well. It's kind of aggressive, but we'll see how the Ally does. Alright, here we go guys, loading into the game, and surprisingly, at full native, we are sitting at 39 FPS, like 40 FPS pretty much. That is crazy good. Wow. I'm honestly shocked. So is this game playable at 60 FPS on the Series S? Or is it 30 FPS on that? Because I would assume it's like 30 FPS at 1080p, but it might have a dynamic res 60 FPS mode. Wow, but the Ally though, doing a great job guys. It's in the 30s and the 40s pretty much, it feels fantastic. Can't feel any stutters. This is a great start. And now I say this in every single video with the Ally, but playing at 1080p on the built-in screen is kind of overkill. I think ideally playing at 900p is the way to go. It will look very sharp, as good as 1080p. Oops. And you'll get an extra 10 FPS pretty much. So yeah, if you're playing on the built-in screen, I would avoid playing at 1080p. Play at 900p, and the FPS is much better. So yeah, outside, it's playing fine, 40 FPS on average, can't feel any stutters, it is quite good. Let's pause it here though and go inside, have a little fight, and see if the FPS falls there at all. So I think with FSR 3 frame gen, 60 FPS at 1080p is definitely doable. Not sure how it will feel, but if you're sitting at 40 now, shouldn't be too bad. Alright, yeah, indoors we're sitting in the 40s as well. Pull out the gun. Let's go over here real quick. There is one guy sitting down. Right here. I'm gonna shoot him. Falling down into the low 30s there. The audio was kind of messing up as well. I'm not sure if that's just the capture card or the game itself. But if you can hear it in the video, it's probably the game. So yeah, what a flashbang. So yeah, 30 FPS was the lowest, but I think it's definitely playable as is. Let's pause it here guys, enable FSR 3 with frame gen, and see how we do that. I just died there as well, good timing. So settings and graphics, gonna go over here, enable frame gen, and then FSR 2.1 at balance, there we go. Apply it, let's see how we go now. Alright, back into the same spot. I'm gonna go drive back to the town. We are on a highway here. Okay, yeah, the aiming, I say aiming, but the driving doesn't feel as good. It's not as responsive, it feels like. There's a bit of delay, but just a little bit. It's not too bad still. But yeah, 60 FPS now, that's crazy. So we gained, what, 20 FPS pretty much? Yeah, that's pretty good. Our GPU is sitting at 80% usage, so it isn't being fully utilized. But still, if we lower the resolution, it will increase the FPS, so there's no worries there. Whoa, I'm getting some flickering as well near the car, and a bit of trailing as well. It's pretty minor, but I can definitely see it. So yeah, this won't be a stable 60, but it's close enough. It's like the mid 50s and the low to mid 60s as well. It's a pretty good start, I would say. And yeah, indoors, 60 FPS of course. The aiming, I think it feels okay. Yeah, it's not too bad actually. I think my aim sense is a bit high, but not really the fault of FSR 3. And we do get aim assist, so it's not really an issue. Let's go over here and shoot this guy. And the FPS falls down into the high 40s there. Oh, I keep flashbanging myself. Yeah, the audio is kind of bugging out for me, at least. So yeah, honestly, it feels fine. It's a great start. The game feels a bit more delayed, but just slightly. And if you're playing on a TV, this is a great option. Cool. Let's pause it here though, back out, play at 900p, 30 watts, and try it again. So unfortunately, I'm having a bunch of issues with native 900p. The FPS numbers just don't make any sense. So I'm going to cut it out and just skip ahead and use FSR 3 straight away. And yeah, as you guys can see, with FSR 3 active and 100p, we are sitting in the mid 70s and the low 70s, which is a lot higher than what we had before at 1080p. Alright, yeah, indoors guys, again, in the mid to high 80s. Let's see how we go here. In this area, we sat into the 50s, the low 50s after I shot the guy. So let's see. And right here, we're sitting in the high to mid 60s. So yeah, much better. It's far more playable. And again, I can't feel any stutters or any lag spikes. So if you are playing on the built-in screen, this is definitely the move. It looks great and plays really nicely as well. Now time for 15 watts, and we are sitting in the low to mid 50s. Not too bad, guys. But the flickering is back on the back of the car, and the trailing is also back as well. We are playing at 900p, which I think should be reserved for 30 watts in this game at least. So the fact that we can get a playable experience is pretty decent. Wow guys, 60 FPS indoors. That is fantastic. So it shouldn't be too bad then. Let's walk over here. Shoot this guy. Oh yeah, it's very bad. 40 FPS and even the high 30s there. That's like half our frames gone. So yeah, I think for me personally, I would avoid using this. There's just far too many issues, and you can just play the game at 720p, get more frames consistently. And yeah, lastly, playing at 720p with FSR active, and FPS wise, we're sitting in the mid 70s up into the mid 80s and 90s. It depends on where we are pretty much at this point, but in this section, we can easily hold 90, which is fine. Over in the mid 80s. It's quite good all around. But at the same time, I've seen this fall down into the mid 60s and the mid 70s as well. So keep that in mind. And we're back here one more time. See how far the FPS falls down. In the low 90s there. So yeah, very good guys. It's feeling very fluid and very responsive. This is definitely a great option as well if you are playing on the built-in screen. And for the graphics, it looks pretty respectable. It is not too bad at all. And lastly, playing at 15 watts, 720p. We are just sitting at 60 FPS here. That is quite amazing. And for the driving, at this point I'm used to it, to be honest. It feels pretty good. There might be a bit of input lag, but again, it's very minor. So if you are playing portably, then this is a great choice for that. But again, keep in mind that we're barely sitting at 60 FPS here, so in those heavier scenes, it will fall below it. So yeah, keep that in mind. Back indoors one last time. Let's see how far the FPS falls here. Because beforehand, it fell into the 40s, I believe, and 100p, 15 watts. So if we can hold 50 FPS here, it would be quite nice. Right, here we go. Yeah, falling down to the low 50s here. Man, the audio is not sounding great here at all. The audio sounds awful, guys. That is such an issue. So yeah, there we have it. That is Cyberpunk on the ROG Ally. If you are playing on a TV, or if you're in dock mode, then use 1080p of course. If you are playing on the built-in screen, then play at 900p, 30 watts, FSR 3 as well. And for portable play, at 15 watts, then use 720p. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time for the next video. See you guys there.